everyone. We're about to get started in just a minute or so, but welcome. We are here tonight to talk with Trojan Ambassadors for our Cocoa and Conversation Fireside Chat with Trojan Ambassadors and recruiters. We're going to wait another 30 seconds to a minute just so people can join us tonight. But if you're joining us from wherever you are, home, or maybe you're still at school on campus, or you're from a different area, feel free to put that in the chat. We always love seeing where you guys are from. All right. Well, we will go ahead and I will welcome and get started. My name is Courtney Jensen. I am a college recruiter here at ACM, and I'll pass it off to our other college recruiter.
Hey guys, I'm Sydney, and as Courtney mentioned, I am the other recruiter here at Allegany College in Maryland, and I'll begin introducing our Trojan Ambassadors.
I'm James. I'm a second-year forestry technology student at ACM.
Hello, I'm Taylor. I am an elementary education major.
I'm Mary, and I'm a business accounting student.
I'm Olivia. I'm a third semester nursing student.
I'm Allison, and I start the nursing program next semester.
Well, thank you again for joining us. If you're just hopping on, again, this is Cocoa and Conversation, Fireside Chat with Trojan Ambassadors. I'll pass it back to Sydney again to talk a little bit about the Trojan Ambassador program and what makes it so great here at ACM.
All right. So the Trojan Ambassador program is a group of students where they get to make long-lasting They get to life-lasting opportunities for leadership. They get to assist us on tours, and if you want to represent ACM in a good way, then we recommend that you come and join us.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Sydney. It's also a scholarship program, so students here get to help recruiters like me and Sydney go and visit high schools and get a little bit of money to help support their educational needs. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with our first question for tonight. Now keep in mind, if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the comments, and we'll add them at the end of our pre-sent questions. So I'll go ahead and begin with Taylor. Taylor, is ACM a friendly campus, and do you feel welcomed at ACM?
Yes, absolutely. Everything at ACM is so warm and welcoming. All of the teachers and staff are willing to help you in any way they can and just make sure that you're comfortable and give you the best work that they can provide you.
Great. Thank you so much, Taylor. We'll go ahead and move on to our second question. Sydney, if you'll lead this question here for our next Trojan Ambassador.
Of course. Next up, our question is for Mary. What would you say a typical weekday is like for you?
So I go to the Bedford County campus, and I'm actually only on campus Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I have class pretty much all day long. But the other days of the week, I work at a local bank.
Awesome. All right, handing it back over to Courtney.
All right, our next question is for James. So James, what clubs and student organizations are available to join at ACM? And are there any athletic teams? And I think you might be on one of those clubs.
I am actually. I'm a member of the Woodsman's team over here at ACM, which is where we go and participate in a timber sports competition every year with other schools in the area. We actually went down to Virginia last year and did that. Took place in third place in the competition. But there are tons of other opportunities. You can find a full list on the website about all the sports teams and different clubs we offer. But I know everyone here can definitely find one they should belong with.
Yeah, thank you. You have 9 different sports teams, over 30 plus different clubs. There's so many options for you here at ACM. All right, next question, Sydney.
All right, this one's for Olivia. So now that you're a third-year student, what would you say? What was it like being a first year? Like, if you look back on that, what would you say everything's changed between now and then?
So I started in fall of 2020. So it was a very non-traditional college experience starting out. We all had to wear masks. We were all social distancing. Very, very small class sizes compared to our typical normal small class sizes. But my love for ACM has just grown throughout the years as I've gotten to experience what a normal college experience looks like as we're moving out of COVID. It has just been wonderful. I've loved every second of it.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Olivia. Allison, the next question is for you. Now, you are a nursing student or pre-nursing and accepted in the nursing program, so this is really important. How much time do students spend studying per week, and where is your favorite place to study on campus?
Well, I think the average time varies depending on what your major is. I know I study at least 3 or 4 hours a night, and that's pretty typical for most of the students I come across. My favorite place, though, is the Learning Commons. There's so many spots in there, like little hidden quiet areas, and then they have the computers and definitely printers for anything that you would need to print, but definitely Learning Commons, I think, is my favorite place to study.
Okay, that's a pretty common one. Not to be
Yeah.
punny there. I know. But there are lots of great little nooks around.
There definitely
campus.
are. Every building has its own special little spots, so.
Well, good. Well, thank you. It's definitely one of my favorite places with those whiteboard tables. And
Absolutely,
everything.
yep.
All right, our next question.
All right, the next question is for Taylor, but if anyone else wants to answer, you're welcome to chime in. So, Taylor, what would you say your favorite winter and holiday tradition is?
I think my favorite holiday tradition is my brother usually comes over to my house, so my mom and dad and my brother and I usually have like an eggnog kind of toast Christmas Eve, and it's nice to kind of start everything for the season.
In my family, we're all really competitive, and we have a gingerbread house competition, obviously. And I never win because I'm not very artistic, but I have fun.
I mean, there's always hot cocoa, though, which is always good. Thank you to Shauna for making our hot cocoa tonight. Are there anyone else? Is anyone else interested in sharing one of their favorite winter traditions?
My family and I on Christmas Eve, we've always watched It's a Wonderful Life. We go to a
That's my
candlelight
favorite.
service at my church, and then we come home, have an appetizer dinner, and watch It's a Wonderful Life. It's always really awesome.
It
Fun.
does.
Wonderful life.
All right, how about you, Allison?
Ooh, well, I lived away for so long, but it's really nice to just be home and spend time with my family. We don't really have any set traditions anymore, but strangely enough, I've got to visit the Christmas Story house. I've never seen the movie. Yeah, that's my fun fact about myself. But I've been to the house, and my parents had never seen it either, and they, behind my back, went and watched the movie. So, yeah, I'm a lone wolf now in my family, and I'm holding strong. I refuse to watch it.
I always like watching White Christmas while like wrapping Christmas presents and things, just because it's so long.
Yes.
You can definitely wrap
You get a
all the
lot
Christmas
done.
presents.
I like Scrooge. Bill Murray is
Oh, that's
one of my
always
favorites,
good.
so it's not very traditional.
How about you, James? Lone Trojan Ambassador. What holiday traditions?
So every year, my mom buys me and both my brothers an ornament that represents what happened to you throughout the year, and she's been doing this since we were 2 years old. So we make an entire day worth of, we have to hang every single ornament we have on the tree. And yes, the tree typically falls over because of all the weight to it. But it's become this huge ordeal in our house to decorate the Christmas tree as a family, because whatever's going to happen, you're going to get your ornaments out, and everyone's kind of remembering past experiences and everything with that way. So
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
just a normal decorate the Christmas tree, but we make it a little special.
Oh, that's great. How about you, Sydney?
So it's really funny that you mentioned the Christmas Story house, because one big tradition in my family, we always watch the 24-hour A Christmas Story.
Yes.
Honestly, we could probably reenact the whole thing if we wanted to. My dad just watched the sequel, and while I've seen bits and pieces of it, I'm hoping to catch up on it before Christmas.
I was gonna bring that up. I heard it wasn't very good. But
I liked what I saw.
I don't like the Christmas Story.
Fine. Okay, somebody on my side.
I know
I'm with you
that's
on that one,
religious,
too.
but
I'm with you on that one, too.
all right. Well, lots of great holiday traditions here with our Trojan Ambassadors and our recruiters. If you have a favorite holiday tradition, feel free to add in the comments. We always love hearing from you guys. Or if you have any questions for either recruiters or Trojan Ambassadors here tonight, feel free to let us know. We'll answer any questions at the end. And I think you have the next question, Sydney.
Ooh, all right. Should I read it to myself,
Or I think you're asking me.
Oh, I'm
maybe.
asking you?
Oh, no, I got it all mixed up. Oh, see, this is why live isn't perfect. The that's okay. All right, so does ACM offer on-campus housing, and is there a separate application?
Actually, we do offer housing. We call it Willowbrook Woods. So one little fun fact is that they're not your typical dorm rooms with two beds, one room. They're actually 4-bedroom apartments with 2 bathrooms and a kitchen, living space area, and porch patio. So there actually is a separate application. We recommend that after you've applied for ACM and received your congratulations, you're now a student, and your credentials, after that, that's when we recommend you apply for housing because it is a $50 application fee.
Okay. Now, one thing to note with the housing is it is a little bit of a longer application, so don't be scared when you view it. It does have a lot of the application information in that booklet if you would print it out. But it is well worth it. The apartments are fantastic. All right, so moving on, I think now you get to ask the questions, Sydney.
All right, this one's for Olivia again. Do instructors hold office hours, and will they meet you outside of the classroom?
Absolutely. So at the beginning of every class that I've ever had, we go through our syllabus and the teachers make it known in that moment when their office hours are, when they're available. But I've had professors that have been more than willing to meet outside of their office hours if it didn't work with my certain schedule. And yeah, they're always super helpful during those times.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else, have you guys ever had a professor meet you afterwards to help you out? I bet everybody can raise their hand and be
Absolutely.
like, yes, yes, it definitely.
Yeah, I know Robin in the business department, she's great about that. I mean, she would meet you at any hour of the day, literally.
Yeah.
It seems to be a common thread with a lot of students and a lot of professors, which is really, really great. All right, next question for Allison. Are there any on-campus tutoring programs or study labs? So it kind of leads in from our previous question.
Okay. Well, like I said, the Learning Commons is a great place to go study, but it also has the Writing Center. It has a math tutoring center as well. And in the science building, there is the science lab, which has science tutors. But any subject that you would need tutoring on, there's definitely tutors on campus. And then we also have an online tutoring through ACM's website that you can go to and get help after hours and yeah, anything that you would need. Plus professors, like you guys said, are available after class. They definitely help as well. So
Yeah, definitely.
lots of opportunities.
Absolutely, yeah. With the math and science and the ROC, the Reading and Writing Center, there really are a lot of options for you to get help on campus. Have any of you guys utilized the services of any of those tutoring centers and study? Yeah.
During my first semester, I was in anatomy and physiology, and it's a tough course. So I utilized the science study lab a lot for writing my lab reports and just studying for my practicals and exams, and they were a big help.
Anyone else used one of the study labs before?
Whenever I was a student here, I actually used the Reading and Writing Center, and they were immensely helpful over there.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can get someone to kind of look over your paper or even your scholarship application, it can be super, super helpful. All right, I think you are the next question, Sydney.
All right, this one's for Mary. All right, so what makes ACM so unique compared to other colleges?
I would say just how tight-knit it is. You won't find many other schools where there's 6 students in a class, and it just gives you the opportunity to be really hands-on and to ask lots of questions, and you feel really included here, and you feel like all of the faculty and staff cares about you and truly wants you to succeed.
Absolutely. Anyone else want to tell us a little bit about why ACM is so unique?
Going off what Mary said, yeah, just the small class sizes, how much the professors truly care about your education and wanting you to succeed. Almost every single class that I went in, the professors start out by saying, I'm not here to fail you, I'm here to help you, I'm here to help you succeed and get through this course, because there's hard courses that you're going to come across here at ACM, but your professors understand that, and they will do everything in their power to help you succeed.
Well, and having friends that go to bigger universities, they're like, yeah, our professors don't care. They fail us on every exam. And yeah.
They don't know my name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I sleep every day. If I tried to sleep in class,
I'll get called out.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, James?
Same thing with that. It's just
Yeah.
you feel like you're part of a family when you're here. Like I've had the same two professors the entire time I've been in the forestry program, and they know my name. They notice if I'm not in class. They know if I'm, I'm in a little bit of a different mood than I was the day before, kind of thing. And they're more than willing to come and talk to people and try and help you figure out what's best going to help you succeed. And they know how to teach each individual student. So if someone's more of a visual learner or more hands-on learner, they're able to kind of tailor the lessons so everyone gets the most out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Taylor?
I would like to add something that I think is very unique. I am a student that started at a big university and then decided to kind of move backwards to a smaller campus. At a bigger university, you definitely 100% don't get nearly as hands-on help. The professors may not read your emails for a few weeks because the classes are just so large and they're so busy, as to where here a lot of my teachers have given even their phone numbers, so you can send them a quick text and they're there to help you, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to our next question. It's actually for James again. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out before, but
that's
I
fine.
figured I wanted to kind of bring it out and learn a little bit more. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit about class size. How big are your classes on average, and how many hours of class do students typically have per week?
Well, in the forestry program, you go through the entire curriculum in the same class you started in from day one. Everyone's going to sign up for the same classes every semester and all that. So you're in a very close-knit community worth of people. We have typically anywhere between 10 to 15 students in the forestry program per year. So that's the normal class size for us. Sometimes we have people, not make it through a couple of the harder classes, but, it is what happens in college. And right now I'm taking 17 credits as part of the third semester, so a little bit heavy on class hours per week right now, but that's not the typical workload. Usually it's around 12 to 14, so a little bit more breathing room, but once you get into it, it's important to have those class hours to actually get your handle on things.
Yeah, definitely. Now I want to look towards you, Olivia, because as a nursing student, how many credits are you taking?
So it's kind of unique in the nursing program because it's a 9-credit course, but it's still considered full-time since it is a program. I am on campus anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week at about 3 to 4 hours per day. Clinical hours are factored into that, so once you get a little deeper into your semester, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are typically set apart for clinical, and those can be longer days. They can be from 4 to even 12-hour days, which but you have to get your hours in, and they're worth it. They get you great experience. So it is a little heavier on the hours, but still manageable, definitely.
Now, in teaching, are your hours on campus or are you out in the field? I'm just very curious.
We actually do a little bit of both. So we have a good many courses that are still on campus, learning how to teach different students in the classrooms. However, one course that we have, we're there in the classroom for about the first 2 or 3 weeks, learning some important information that we need for the rest of the semester. And then the rest of the semester, we spend 20 hours in the school systems working with the students and creating our own lesson plans. And that's really cool. So once you're done the program here at AC, we will have 60 hours completed in the schools, which is really awesome.
Wow, that is a lot, especially as a second year, right?
Yes.
Second year, so
Yep.
you're getting a lot of time in the
Yes.
classroom. That's awesome. And with accounting, you're having a lot of internship opportunities too, right?
Yeah, not quite yet.
Not quite yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't had to do anything like that yet. I actually don't think to graduate in business accounting I have to have an internship, but I know business management you do.
Okay,
So.
but you have been working over
Yeah.
the summer and
Yes.
things and getting lots of really great
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate.
That's great. And just a reminder for everyone, Mary is our Bedford Trojan Ambassador. But again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to add them to the chat and we will answer them at the end of tonight's pre-submitted questions. I'm going to pass it back to Sydney again for the next 2 questions.
All right, so this one is for Olivia, but really I think this is one of those questions that everyone can answer to. All right, so what would you say your favorite holiday food is? It can be a dessert, it can be the main course, side dish, like which one's your favorite?
This one's a tough one because I am a foodie. I love food. But I'm a sweets girl as well, so I would have to say growing up we always made these cherry-filled cookies with my grandma and my mom. And my grandma has since passed away, but we've kept up the tradition, and they're delicious. They're like, you put cherry pie filling, we make our own homemade cookie dough, and they're just delicious.
Sounds delicious.
It's really good.
How about any of you guys?
I would say my favorite, I like the desserts too. I like peanut butter and chocolate, so I would say peanut butter blossoms are one of my favorites.
Ooh. Do you make them yourself?
Yeah, me and my mom, we do a lot of cooking together. My mom is she went to Wilton School in Chicago,
Ooh.
so she's good with cakes and baking and things. So it's
Yeah,
really
she
fun to learn from her and see how bad I am without her guidance.
Hey, at least you have her as a great teacher.
Yes.
James?
I'm gonna stick with the trend and go with it's the holiday cookies.
Oh,
My mom's never learned to
agree.
cook for less than an army full of people, so we always have way too many. So I get to sit down and eat basically all that I want for the entire Christmas break. It's amazing.
Oh, cookies are definitely my downfall. Cookies are the best. All right, Allison, how about
See,
you?
my mom and my grandma always did the Christmas cookies too, and they're good. I'm not a sweets person. I would have to say my favorite holiday food is green bean casserole. I know that's kind of
no.
hit or miss.
Controversial.
Right, that's very
That is a
controversial this time. But my dad, we always incorporate some kind of crab or shrimp. For Thanksgiving we had Maryland crab soup. He always does steamed shrimp for Christmas. There's always something crab or Maryland related, I think, for our holidays, and that's a good part of Christmas, I think.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. I'd rather have that over cookies.
Mary?
I would say mine are I love cookies too. But I guess this is kind of a tradition, but we do brunch on Christmas Day. So I love waffles and I love sausage gravy. So yeah, I would consider that my favorite holiday food.
So this isn't a holiday food, but it is something when I go home and I have breakfast with my family. My dad makes heart attack eggs, which basically he cooks the bacon first and then deep fries the eggs in there and they get all crispy.
That sounds delicious.
Definitely not something you eat on the regular,
Right.
but you always get it last. It's super hot and fresh. Oh, so good. I could eat them all the time, but I won't. I won't. How about you, Sydney?
Well, this is something that my mom makes for every holiday, Thanksgiving, Easter, stuff. I think she even made them for the 4th of July, especially Christmas. It's these apple dumplings, but what makes them really special is that she puts Mountain Dew on them. And I know you guys might be thinking, but it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. It gives it a little kick.
Mountain Dew.
It's that surprise ingredient. It's not just love, it's Mountain Dew.
And then I get to drink what's left in the bottle when she's done.
That sounds like a keeper. All right. If you have a favorite holiday food, feel free to add it in the comments. I think I'm going to pass it back to you.
This question is actually directed towards you, Courtney.
Okay.
All right, so if a student is interested in signing up for a campus tour, how would they do that?
So there's a couple different ways you can do that. Number one, if you are interested in joining on one of our fall tours or our spring open houses, those do happen at different points during the semester. That's always a really great way to join a big group for a tour, check out different programs. But if you're looking for something a little bit more one-on-one, a little bit more private, you can always come to our Welcome Center. We do ask that you make appointments in advance, so you can either give us a call or email, and I'll actually have Lauren, who is managing our comments, thank you Lauren, add that email and the phone number in the chat, just so I don't mispronounce or do anything weird, because when it's on live you never know. But it is info@allegany.edu, and the number ending in 5005. But our Welcome Center staff will go ahead, get you set up with a tour. They'll walk you around campus. If you're interested in housing, they'll give you a housing tour. And they can also get you connected with program directors, with advising staff, or get you connected with any student services or anything you really need. And there is even an option that you can sit in on a class, which is really great. If you're saying, hey, I want to get into forestry, you can go sit in on a class in forestry. Your classes are always interesting.
Yeah. We're always the ones who get the weird looks from people walking by, especially when we're learning like bird calls or something. You're walking down the hallway in a classroom and it goes, was that an eagle?
How many different bird calls do you know?
37.
You need to make a bird call right now.
Right.
I can't make bird calls.
Oh, you can't make them?
Oh no.
Reenact a bird call.
Nope, can't
What's
do
your
it. Can't do
favorite?
it.
But yeah, what's your favorite bird call?
I like the screech owl.
Are you sure you can't reenact that?
Yes.
Some kind of owl.
What if we bribed you?
No, can't do it.
You can have all the hot cocoa that's left in the crock pot.
Right.
You have to do
all
it.
yours.
It's all yours.
Your best attempt at a screeching owl.
No, I can't do
Should
that.
we ask the comments if they want him to do it?
Right.
No, I'll say this. It doesn't sound like a bird, though. It sounds like a horse.
Oh.
If
Oh,
you
I think
act-
I've heard one before.
Yes.
Screech owl?
Screech owl sounds like a horse.
Yeah, because I was in Envirothon and I remember that. It's not like what you would expect from a screech owl. Because like I feel like the barn owl screeches more than the screech owl.
Yep.
I remember that
Yep, that
from
one-
middle school Envirothon.
That was not fun.
Misnamed.
Oh my gosh. Now, what other weird things happen in your classes that you would not expect? Has anything bizarre happened, like bird calls, or you guys walk by and they go, oh, it's those education majors. Oh, it's the nursing, accounting.
I do see the nursing students walking around the technology building every day during
Okay.
our class. Like, we'll just kind of randomly come. There's a whole crowd of nursing students walking by, and they take laps. So like every like 2 or 3 minutes, they all come by again, and we're just kind of like, what is going on?
So they're in big mobs.
Yep.
We're like wolves. We're not
You got your
Gotta stick
pack.
together, yes. If you see Melinda, she's in charge of our study labs here on campus. She might be walking across campus with an arm for us to practice an IV skill with. Like, you see all kinds of, like, if you ever see, like, a dummy, I promise you it is a dummy and not somebody's random body part. It is for the nursing students to practice on. So you might see something weird like that.
Oh my gosh. During my fall tour, my group came in the technology center, and then all of a sudden, somebody was wheeled in a wheelchair. My group jumped up. They were so scared for this dummy, which is, you know, their faces are all contorted and like wonky as they're being pushed in the wheelchair. They were very thankful it was a dummy because that person should not have been wheeled in a wheelchair on campus if it was real.
Yes.
Any other crazy classroom things? How about education
In
majors?
education, there are certainly some things. I was told about them before I started, just getting like an intro of the program, and I'm like, what? How is that gonna help? But it really does. Miss Tamino here is fantastic. She's 1 out of 2 of the main education teachers, and she has a game in one of her classes that you use fly swatters for. And so it's like phonics using different like letter sounds and things, but she'll call out a word and you have to slap the phrase first, and there's just, you know, you walk by and there's people hitting fly swatters off the table, so I can't imagine that looks very educational, but I promise it is, and we really did learn a lot, so that's cool.
Now, does everyone get a different fly swatter?
It depends on which game.
Okay. Okay.
Her and Miss Ed both have a couple different amount of games. She's really good with making everything a game, just to make everything fun and for us to understand it, which is really awesome. Sometimes we would do one and whoever hit it first, or be in partners or different things. So unless she has the main fly swatter and we go up and have to hit it like on the chalkboard or something like that. But there's always cool games and things.
I mean, that's good. You're learning in a fun way,
Yes.
and you want to be a teacher who's teaching people in a
Yes.
fun and engaging way. So that's
Yeah.
really great.
Yes.
How about you, Allison? Any crazy classroom stories?
Not really.
No?
Yeah, no. I'm just finishing up my prereqs, so nothing really crazy. We got to dissect a cat in anatomy, so that was a lot of
Ooh,
fun.
okay. And you'll get to join the nursing moms.
Yes, I
You-
I get to join the. I get my
You'll be in
own
the school.
pack. Yeah.
How about on Bedford campus? Anything?
It's pretty quiet up there.
Is it?
I mean,
No crazy screeching owls or fly swatter.
not that I can think of.
Now, I will say you guys are some of the best. You guys have some of the best decorations up there.
Oh, Landon. Landon up
Is
there
Landon the one who
loves to decorate.
Does he? I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like he enters competitions on Facebook, like for pictures of his house and stuff. He loves to decorate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We have such a talented group of ACM staff, and just whether it's fun fly swatter games or screech owl sounds or decorating with Landon, he could come on here and show us how to decorate.
He's
We
very
need a
particular
live.
too. He is.
So if you're watching, Landon, you'll be on here next. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more serious. So, our next question, reeling it back in because I went off script a little bit. Describe your ACM story and what led you to choose ACM. I'm not gonna pick on anyone. You can go whoever would like to first. Hopefully you've been thinking about it a little bit.
I know for me, so I went to Everett High School, which is directly across from the Bedford County campus. So I took early college classes, and I was always kind of in my mind. But then when I decided that I wanted to go for accounting, I was of course worried about the cost. So I went to the open houses in high school and won some free tuition vouchers. And I just decided that it was the right choice for me because I could commute and there were so many scholarship opportunities, and it seriously was the best choice I've ever made. I tell everyone, like all the high school seniors that I know, I'm like, go to ACM. It's just 2 years. You can get the college experience after. Just do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially being at Bedford. I mean, like Tina Imes, I just love her to death. Like she's just the sweetest woman. I mean, everyone up there is helpful, but yeah, she's great. I love everyone up there.
My story is very similar to Mary's. I was probably about 20 minutes from ACM's campus, my high school was, and Lauren, one of our staff members here, she came and visited my high school the one day, and she said, I did the big 4-year university, I am thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, don't be like me. And so I was like, okay. My little 17-year-old self was like, there might be something to that. So I went on the fall tour at ACM, and that just kind of solidified my decision. I knew I wanted to be a nursing major, and the reputation is great here. The nursing program has a great reputation here at ACM. So I was like, well, that's it. I'm doing it. And it was, again, like Mary said, the best decision I ever made. Recommended to everybody.
Yeah, I know for me now, I plan to transfer to Frostburg after I graduate in the spring, but I'm like, I'm just going to miss it so much.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if I'm ready to go, but I have to.
Yes.
Well,
We are going in a circle.
yeah, we'll go around the circle. I'll keep it going. So for me, when I graduated high school, it was quite a while ago. I went to Frostburg State, and then I went to Coastal Carolina and moved away. So I lived, 11 hours away from home for a very long time. Living in Myrtle Beach, I didn't really do anything with any of my schooling. I just bartended. I did a lot of the service industry side of it, and then I got really sick a couple years ago and had to move back home. Going through that whole journey, and especially like the nurses I met at Cleveland Clinic, like changed my life. And I knew I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to go back just to Myrtle Beach. I wanted to do nursing. I'm from here, so being here and having the nursing program so close, it was kind of like a no-brainer. I definitely wanted to come back and be a part of this campus, and I've loved every second of it. It's been totally worth it. I don't think I'll stay here. I'm in the spring planning on doing Frostburg and ACM, the dual enrollment program, but I think I'll travel then, do travel nursing. It's in my blood, so yeah. But it's been definitely nice to be back home.
Yeah, just because you come to ACM, that doesn't mean you have to stay in this community. If you want to go and you want to go on to a 4-year in California, you can do that. If you want to travel around the country as a nurse, that's awesome. There's a lot of options. James?
All right, so my story is actually very similar to Allison's. I graduated college or high school back in 2010. Yeah. I went to a 4-year school in Oregon for the first year out of high school. So slightly farther than, hours away. And it was not the best opportunity for me. So I decided I was kind of going to be done for school and decided to go into the service industry. So I was a line cook and kitchen manager for 10 years. And I finally got tired of working in a room with no windows. Because I really enjoyed spending my free time outside. So I started doing some research and found out that ACM has one of the only 2-year accredited forestry programs in the entire state of Maryland. So I came in and talked to the program director and everything, was just kind of sharing my life story, and she was the one who convinced me to come here. And it's been a great decision ever since. And I'm actually going to be transferring to a 4-year college in Montana after I graduate. So
wow, that's
speaking of
great.
opportunities.
That's fantastic. See, there's lots of options. All right, Taylor.
So I would say my story is a little bit different. I worked at a 4-year institution whenever I was finishing high school, so I just went ahead and started my college experience there because I was already kind of acclimated to different portions of the campus, and I went for a year. I graduated high school in fall of 2020, so spring, and then started college in fall of 2020. So everything was a little bit crazy for everybody in the world at that time. So everything kind of went online, and it was just crazy. It was a struggle to get a hold of professors and get questions answered and figure out what I was supposed to be learning, where I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to be doing. And along with all of that, it was a huge chunk out of my pocket during those 2 semesters where I didn't learn anything, partially because of what was going on with the whole world, and another way of going to such a big university with so many people. I remember walking into a lecture hall for my first day of classes, and I walked in the door and I looked up, and there was so many faces I could have just cried. It was terrifying. And everybody was bigger than me. I'm pretty short, so it was really scary. But all of my friends that I graduated high school with, they all came to AC, and they were talking about how much they loved it, Olivia being one of them. And I would complain about how I hated such a big school because it was just overwhelming and scary. And so I decided to come down here. Actually, Miss Seddon, she's the main director of education. I went to preschool with her daughter, actually. So I knew her from that, and she kind of gave me a little insight on how it worked, and I came down, and here soon I'll be graduating this spring to go back to a 4-year institution, and I'm so sad because I love it here. It was the best decision I've ever made.
Where did you go?
Frostburg State.
All right, I'm going to ask you, Sydney. You were an ACM student once. Why did you choose ACM?
Well, I chose ACM. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay, you're good. We'll do the full circle. Yeah.
All right. Well, way back when I graduated high school, 2018, whenever I was a very young person. I'm only 22 now, but anyway. So I was actually in the early college program at Mountain Ridge. Go Miners. But anyway, so that's sort of how I got introduced to ACM. The professor that I had, she was such a sweetheart. She was really that sort of doorway to ACM, and then I thought, you know what, I want to continue my education down there. I really appreciated the small class size. I got to know all my classmates. The teachers got to know us. And even whenever I started working here and I saw my teachers again, they were so excited to see me. I was excited to see them. it's a little cheesy, but you really do make those lasting relationships with your teachers here.
Absolutely.
I see a lot
For
of
sure.
nods.
Yes.
So that is a lot of amazing ACM stories. We love hearing ACM stories. You can always see them on our Facebook page, on Instagram, in our Access magazine. So if you love hearing stories, we've definitely got plenty to share, not just those of these smiling faces here today. We have about a few more minutes. So we're going to finish out with one final question before we pass it off to you in the audience to ask any questions you may have for our Trojan Ambassadors. So the last question is, in one sentence or less, please describe what would be the most important advice you would give to a first-time college student. And I'm going to pass off to James because he is looking at me. So I'm talking though, so.
So I would say that if you're going to come to school, it's a very big decision. So you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So make it your first priority. I know you need to have a job, you need to make some money, whatever it is. That's a back burner if you go to school. And ACM makes that so easy because they're there to help you do it. If you're having any issues, they have tons of scholarship opportunities. They have the pantry, which gives food donations, necessary items and everything to students, tons of study help and all that stuff. So make college your first priority, and you'll get what you get into it, what you get out of it.
Yeah, that was a great answer. Taylor?
I would say just to consider all of your options. Don't go with the first campus that you think is most popular or that your parents went to if they attended school before you. If that's where your siblings go in and you think you have to go there, you don't have to follow what anyone else has done. Just consider the different opportunities that you might have at different campuses, whether it be a small community campus or a big university, just to see what they have to offer that might be personalized to you.
I would say my biggest advice is just keep track of what you need to do. Know the due dates, whether that's in a calendar. I have a Word document that I put everything in, and when I can delete that assignment, it just makes me so happy.
Good advice, Mary. Very good advice. That's good for life in general. Keep a planner, keep a notebook, do whatever you need to do to stay organized. Olivia?
My advice would be take your time. I mean, if you know yourself and you know that, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to go into college and waste a bunch of money, just take some time. Discover what you want to do. Find out what you love. I've always been told, find out what your most favorite thing to do is and find a way to make it a job. Find a way that you can work that career your whole life. So yeah, just do some soul searching before you plunge into a college experience. It's going to put you into a bunch of debt because college is always going to be there waiting for you. ACM is always going to be here if it is what you choose. So yeah, just make sure you're confident in your decision before you go forward because there's no rush.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. I know I am so stubborn and have to do everything on my own, but there are so many great programs here. I'm a member of Pathways for Success, and they are always willing to help with tutoring, financial help, just planning. If I need to go in there and scream or cry, plus, your professors. We've talked about how great they are to be there for you. So if you are having trouble, ask for help. Join an organization, a club, anything. Make friends, just study groups. You don't have to do it alone.
This is some great advice. And I'm sure, everybody has different stories and different paths, but make sure you take a little bit of what these Trojan Ambassadors said today and maybe use it as you figure out your own path and journey, whether it's at ACM or maybe starting in with us and going elsewhere or whatever it may be. Again, we are here, Coco in Conversation. We're going to pass it off to you, giving about 30 seconds to a minute for any last minute questions from you in the audience. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We'd love, love, love to hear from you. Maybe it's a personal questions, saying not personal, saying like, oh, what do you do on Thanksgiving break? That's fun. Or
I'd like to hear the screeching out.
yeah, the screeching out. Yes, we need that extra push because we need to hear that screeching out.
What if we had you walk behind the camera and do it?
Well, I can play the recording I have, but it's not going to be me doing it.
Oh.
Like I said, it's not going to sound like a horse if I do it.
Okay.
My voice doesn't change. It just kind of stays monotone, so be trying to be
That's
a
the
horse.
best part.
So I will say, as we're waiting for any submitted questions, our 5 lovely Trojan Ambassadors are actually joining us next semester. So we're very excited to have them back, both for fall 2022 and into spring 2023. What are you guys looking forward to most in the spring? And anyone can jump in because that is not a scripted question. I've been going off script.
I'm excited because I'm taking leadership 2 and I get to go to New York. That's a really cool thing that ACM offers. It's like a 3-day class. You get 3 credits for it. And I just got done with it. I took it like the last weekend in October, but it was really great. And I mean, 3 days for 3 credits.
Yes.
You can't beat it. And then getting to go to New York for 3 credits. So
Did you have to take leadership 1?
yeah, I took. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
you
I said.
did.
I just
Okay,
got
sorry.
done with it.
I was thinking of my question for you.
No, you're fine.
That's a really great class. I actually want
Yeah.
to take it, even as a faculty member or staff member. I want to take it. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Anyone else?
I think I'm excited to just continue on, like, starting out as an ambassador. Like, I had a general idea, but I didn't know what all it entailed. But experiencing it this semester, getting to meet all my fellow ambassadors, and, like, I knew some of them to begin with, but just getting to spend time with them, get to know them, getting to spend time just raising awareness for our campus and just sharing my story. It's just been wonderful, and I'm excited to continue on with that.
You're starting the nursing
I
program.
am, yeah. Not gonna have much time, but I'm excited.
That's great.
We're running around like crazy, but
It'll be
yeah,
worth it.
yeah. I've got a good support team for sure.
I'm sure Olivia will help you.
Oh, yeah.
get
Any questions, you can put them
yeah,
my
she's
way.
got you.
We're basically relatives now.
Exactly.
How about this couch over here?
So first weekend of April, we're actually hosting the Woodsman's competition here on campus.
Right.
So anybody who is affiliated with the school is more than welcome to come join our team. You don't have to be in the forestry program. You just have to have any credit class, and you guys can come join. So if you guys want to come chop down trees with us, let me know.
Oh, yeah.
Can we wear
Should be
like
an ambassador.
plaid, like lumberjacks?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
we can wear uniforms, guys. This is perfect.
What else is expected, you know? But yeah, so we're hosting that for the first time in, I think it's like 4 or 5 years. So it's going to be a big competition the first weekend of April. Everyone's more than welcome to come out and cheer us on.
Or join the team.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Ambassador team.
How large is the team typically?
We usually have about 10 to 15 students from each school, and I think there's 4 or 5 schools who come and compete.
Okay.
So
cool.
it's an all-day thing, day and a half actually, I believe now.
Wow.
And you'll see tons of things you don't usually get a chance to see.
Neat. Cool. Taylor.
I would say I'm pretty excited. Well, I'm excited and sad. I'm excited that will be dwindling down to graduate, only because I cannot wait to be in the classroom and work with the kids. But I'm really sad that I'll have to leave ACM, because I just love it here. It's home. And another thing I'm looking forward to with like the ambassadors is that I've gained like a lot of relationships and friends on campus. All of you guys are good friends now. So that's really exciting, and I'm excited to be able to have more experiences with everyone here and try to just show everybody, especially like all the students that are thinking about AC, what we have to offer.
Yeah, that's really good. I didn't see any submitted questions, unfortunately, but Lauren did put a nice reminder that if you are a current ACM student, the Trojan Ambassador Scholarship app is open on Academic Works now through 12/4. So if you are interested in joining this lovely cast of Trojan Ambassadors and repping ACM, you can definitely apply to do so. It is a scholarship, so you do get a little bit of money towards your school, and you get to do fun things like
Get
this.
to hang out with us.
Right. Get some hot chocolate or some fun holiday hats, you know, all those good things. Spring will be a little different, you know, a little less festive maybe.
Lumberjacks. We're dressing like
Lumberjacks.
lumberjacks.
That is the plan.
That we need.
But there is a really great opportunity for any student that may be interested. You can apply through that scholarship portal. Well, with further ado, I think we're going to close out our session for tonight. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy holidays from ACM, from the recruitment team, from our Trojan Ambassadors here. Woo! Well, thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye, all.
Bye.